With today's grocery prices, sometimes it's a wonder we can feed our families for any less than $30 a meal at all. So what I am bringing you today are 5 of my family's favorite tried and true recipes that cost $5 or less to feed a family of 6. You like food as much as I do, and you like saving a couple of doll hairs. Like this video if you haven't yet, and subscribe if you haven't done that. We can hang out a little bit more, and let's get cooking. For my pasta and sauce, I am going to add some sausage. I had this Jimmy Dean sausage in my freezer, but the Walmart original brand of pork sausage, it's about $2.38 a roll, is a great substitute. I think the taste is there. I'm just going to use what I already had instead of purchasing new ingredients. And if you want to even go further on the budget, you can cut this in half. You don't have to use the entire pound, but you can. Man, I love that sizzle. It's like they're cheering for me. And in this pot over here, I have some water coming up to a boil. My favorite way to break up the ground meat is my meat masher. I got this one from the Dollar Tree. But if you can't find one at your Dollar Tree, I will link one from Amazon down below. It's a few dollars extra. But this is one of my favorite kitchen tools. I use it all the time. Oh, so splashy. I'm using this rigatoni. You can use whatever shape you like. I did just see the American Beauty brand of pasta on sale for 88 cents a pound, which is unmatched. This one's from Walmart. You can get this one too, or you can pick some up on sale. I just used this one because it was in my pantry already. Once again, don't want to buy extras for this challenge, just trying to use up what I have. So this is kind of a pantry clean out as well, but pasta is very inexpensive. You could even run to Dollar Tree. They have 20 ounces of pasta for $1.25. Now that my sausage is totally cooked, my pasta's boiling away over here, I'm gonna grab a can of sauce. You can of course make your own or pick whatever quality of sauce that you like. You can get very expensive, get the Rayo's sauce. This Prego one I got on major sale for about $1. If you can't find anything on sale, the Hunt's brand is very inexpensive at Walmart. And if you have a hard time getting the seal open, this is my little hack for you. I like to crack it lightly on the counter. No sweat. So I've got my heat down low because I'm just warming this through. And I did put on an apron so I didn't splash spaghetti sauce all over my clothes, because that is definitely something I tend to do. I'm gonna put a little water in here to get the rest of this out. There we go. And as soon as our pasta is finished cooking, I will put it directly into here. So even though this sauce feels a touch watery, the pasta should soak up some of this excess water that I put in here. I picked up these broccoli cuts because they were the cheapest that I found at my Walmart. 5 minutes in the microwave. Okay, pasta's coming in, and I really hope this fits in this pan. I don't have high hopes. Oh no. This feels a little overflowy to me, but we will carefully stir. Try and get all of this incorporated, and then we'll go ahead and plate. It's a ton of food. Look at this. This is crazy. If you have some of that shaky cheese hanging around in your fridge, go ahead and feel free to top this with that. If not, you don't need it. But if you have it, it's a good way to use it up. For one of our meals, we're doing a white chicken chili with half of our white beans. I soaked them overnight, so they are soaked but not cooked. Therefore, I will do it in a crock pot. You can, of course, do this on a pot on the stove or in an Instant Pot, or however you want to do it. This just feels really easy. Now, one of the main key components to budget cooking is as few ingredients as possible. So I do have all of my chicken, which I will divide up into several meals for the week, 1 pound of the dried beans, the chicken stock I made from cooking the chicken. I did splurge on some ground cumin for this, and to make my ingredient list short, I am using this salsa verde in here. So with this, some salt and pepper, and some thyme, we should come up with a really delicious dinner. I added about 2 cups of the shredded chicken here. Both cans of the salsa verdes going in. I will use a little bit of water to get every last speck of flavor in here. I do have the ground cumin. We'll do maybe a tablespoon. We definitely want some flavor. This whole container of my chicken stock, which definitely congealed a little bit. I might pull that fat off. I might leave it. I don't know what to do. I might pull it off and add it later if it feels a little dry. I will also add some salt, and I'm gonna set this on high and check on it in a few hours. This meal we can call like a mock sloppy joe or a barbecue sandwich with some green beans on the side, but I'm starting with ground turkey. You can use whatever ground meat you like. If you like ground beef, go ahead and use that. I had some in my freezer, so I did not purchase extra ground turkey, but you can absolutely get this roll of turkey that I found at Walmart for just a little over $2. This was a frequent purchase of mine early in my very, very tight budget days, and I would typically use only half the roll and cut the rest with beans. So that's an option as well. And we are really coming in easy with a package of buns from the Dollar Tree and canned green beans. Of all the canned vegetables, the canned green beans are my favorite. They just taste a little salty to me. I love green beans. They're one of my favorites. So if you are team green bean, give me a hands up emoji in the comments. So I picked up this bottle of barbecue sauce for right at $1 on sale at my local store. I don't think I need the whole thing, so we'll do maybe half of it. Barbecue sauce is pretty strong. If I was doing a container of sloppy joe mix, like manwich, I would definitely use the entire thing. Heat up your canned vegetables however you want, microwave, stovetop, whatever, it's all the same. Seriously, simple, easy meals like this are always a hit with my kids. You know, barbecue sauce has a strong flavor profile. They don't have to eat a ton of vegetables if they don't want to. They love the bun. Who doesn't love the carbs at dinner? And then I definitely just dropped some on the floor, so even the dog will have some ground turkey today. In case you didn't know, sandwiches cut in half taste better than sandwiches not cut in half. Increase your serving size. You've turned one sandwich into 2 sandwiches. Ba-bow math. Also, that was a joke. Of course, if green beans aren't your jam, you can do corn, carrots, peas, whatever vegetable you prefer. This is always a winner over here. Here are my main components, and this got very leaky, so I left it in the bag. But this is the ground beef that I had, or not beef, Italian style ground turkey. I think I can use some soy sauce to kind of change the flavor of this. It was the cheapest one I could find at $1.66, I believe. I was not really impressed with the price of carrots. It was almost $1 for a pound of carrots. Been able to find closer to 2 pounds of carrots for $1 in the past, and they had no just loose carrots to buy, so that was unfortunate. And this tiny little head of green cabbage. The other ingredients I'm going to be adding to this are things that I actually already have. I would have bought extras to show you how to put it all together and what it would cost if you were starting with nothing, but let me show you why I didn't want to do that. Okay, in my fridge from all the previous videos I've done, these are all the heads of garlics that I've already bought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I didn't want to buy any more heads of garlic. So I hope you will excuse me if I just use a couple of cloves from what I already have in my fridge. And also, I already have this huge thing of soy sauce and this huge thing of soy sauce, so much. So please excuse the fact that I'm using soy sauce that is already in my fridge. To try and take away from the Italian flavor of the ground turkey, unfortunately, I'm going to be mixing soy sauce, brown sugar, and some of the garlic that I got from my fridge, and some crushed red pepper flakes. So these crushed red pepper flakes are actually homemade. You can make them yourself by drying jalapenos. Here's a different way that you can open up garlic. Just pinch the 2 sides, and then you can peel it like this and grate it instead of chopping it up if you don't want to do that. So that's my stir-fry sauce, let's say. And here's my Italian turkey in the pan. Once it was done cooking, I added all of my cabbage and the sauce and let it kind of saute, simmer together. You can add the carrots at this point, but I like to keep those raw just as a personal preference. And a really easy way to bulk this up is by serving it over rice. And if you have some sesame oil laying around, a little drizzle of that on top really takes it over the top. Really comforting, really delicious. This dinner is this recipe right here. I got this a very, very long time ago, and I loved it because it uses beans and pasta and sausage. I've been cooking this recipe for over 10 years in my house. It's very budget friendly, especially because we have some dried beans that we rehydrated and cooked in my Instant Pot, so they'll be easy peasy to take care of. And right now we're going to get started on the sauce. As you can see, for the sauce, I need an onion, some garlic, and my sausage that I purchased at Walmart, which is not turkey sausage. but any kind of sausage will work. So we'll brown this up with some onion and this garlic, and then add the remainder of the ingredients. Okay, my sausage and onions are cooked and onions translucent at this point. So 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm actually using 1 can, 128 ounce can of diced tomatoes. What is the equivalent of 2 cans of cooked beans? So I'll use this can as my measurement. Here come my 2 cans of white cooked beans, 1 cup of chicken broth, and some spices. I have about 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, mostly because it was less expensive to purchase this and I can use it for more things rather than buying like fennel and other things. I will also add some salt and pepper, and I gotta run to the fridge and grab my chicken broth as well. Now, while my sauce is cooking, I am boiling up 1 pound of my macaroni noodles in some salted boiling water. Now that all of my ingredients are in, here's my gelatinous chicken broth right here. We're gonna simmer this for 15 minutes. Once it comes up to temperature, taste for salt and pepper. And then as soon as the pasta's done, we'll mix this in with the pasta, and that's the dish. What's interesting is what I have left over. Over here, I do have a good amount of the white beans left over. And remember, I've already used half of that 2-pound bag for my white chicken chili. We can stick this in a baggie and stick it in the freezer. Totally cooked beans like this freeze really, really well and make meal prep later extremely easy. Taste for salt and pepper. If you happen to have any cheese hanging around, Parmesan cheese, whatever, you can also serve that alongside it. A salad would be delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and cook up my frozen broccoli and serve that on the side. If you want an easy printable download, I will have all the recipes in today's video for totally free, listed down below in the description box. And if you wanna get my ebook on my top 10 ways to save on groceries, even here in 2025, that will also be available in the doobly-doo below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios. Controversial take of the day. Best dessert of all time, fruity or chocolate? Oh my gosh.
I like ice cream.
Yeah? Better than any other dessert?
Well, I don't know.
Interesting. Mine's chocolate chip cookies.
No bakes.
Fair.
No bake cookies.
No bakes are
No bakes are the
overrated.
best out of every cookie?
They're up there.
I like no bakes, but that is
No, they're
very much not true.
They might not be the best, but they're up there.
Cake?
No.
Pie?
Not cake.
No.
Apple crisp.
I do like a good apple pie, a raspberry pie. Heat up like an apple pie and put some vanilla ice cream on the side.
I don't really like cake or pie. I'll eat them.
Mom, who did you raise?
I'll eat them.
I don't know what's happening over here.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what's going on.
It is
over
not
here.
anywhere close to up there on the list.
I think
Ice cream?
That's higher.
I think someone in this room is adopted. And it's not me.
It's not you. All right, there you go. What are your favorite desserts? Let us know down below. Bye.